So, hey friends and family, if you don't realize what this video is about, there it is. I voted and I hope that you voted too, and or if you haven't voted yet, that you are going to vote. A lot of people think that they only need to vote every 4 years when the presidential stuff is happening, but that's not true. In between that, the voting that's going on is very important to you. All that they call it down ballot stuff, those people and those things that are going on there are things that directly affect you. It's decisions about where you're living now. That you're voting on. So so if you haven't voted, or if you're not registered, get registered, get it done. It's really important. You got no right to whine and moan about how crappy things are in our country if you're not performing this simple civic duty here like you're supposed to. The one thing I do really like about Nevada is they have no problem sending out our ballot to do mail-in. So me and Cherokee both received a mail-in ballot. We filled it out. We had some errands to do today, so while we were out and about, we stopped at a voting site and dropped off our mail-in ballot. We could have just put it in the mail and mailed it in, but I know the mail can be a little funky sometimes, especially since Trump tampered with it. It hasn't been quite the same since. So yeah, we just take it directly to a voting site and drop it off. There's all kinds of early voting going on here in Nevada, so you don't have to actually wait to the 8th to get it done, because so that no matter what your work schedule, hopefully there's a day in there where you can get it done or drop off your mail-in ballot. Like I said, we really love our mail-in ballots because it allows us the time to look things up properly, to get a good look at who our choices are and what they're saying they're going to do for us, or to take a look at their history, and have they kept, because a lot of them are people who are looking to be reelected into those positions. So have they been doing what they say they're going to do, or are they just sitting on their hands? So yeah, so we really appreciate being able to do the mail-in vote, because it really does allow us to take a good look at things and read things. There was one issue in particular that initially sounded great on the surface. The first thing it said was change Nevada's minimum wage. Thank you, Cherokee. Cherokee's over there listening to me in the background. Minimum wage to $12, and that initially sounded good, but that wasn't the only thing that particular item would change. That particular issue to vote on would change. There was like 1, 2, 3 different things, or was it 4 different things? 3 different things that would happen, and the last one you had to read the whole thing. If you stopped at $12 an hour, and thought, oh yes, I need that, then you missed the last one, where the last one said it took away adjusting for the cost of living.
Which I would say is much more significant.
Which, yeah, we both decided that was really significant. If you take away the adjusting for cost of living, $12 an hour might, by the time they implement that, might not be enough. It isn't enough around here. $12 an hour does not let anybody live properly here. So I mean, around here for anybody to live comfortably, my guess,
$20 an hour, probably.
I'm thinking more like between 30 and 40.
I was saying 20 is a minimum.
Minimum, if
Housing.
you, but there isn't any lower cost.
You know what I mean. Like the cheapest shit you can find.
There isn't any cheap shit to find. It's all outrageous right now.
I really heard the prices went down a little on rents.
On rents, not that I've heard. Not that anybody's telling
we're
me.
Not renting right now.
You know, so we're not part of the rental market anymore. We got priced out of the rental market.
And thankfully, we got out.
We were being priced out of the rental market, 4 or 5 years ago, and so I was basically forced to buy a house because rent was. I couldn't do it. I couldn't keep up with how much rent was going up. So we were forced out of the rental market and forced to buy a house. If I was still trying to rent right now, we would be homeless because there's nothing we can afford anymore rent wise. And currently we're finding we have been also priced out of the car market. We can't find anything that we can afford. I know Carvana's making a big deal about they got thousands of cars that are under $20,000. Well, that's still not cheap enough for me. I needed to be under 10, for me to possibly even come close to being able to afford a payment on it. So that it's just redonkulous, and I'm sick and tired of some of the things we're going through right now. Because I know how to fix it, but nobody's gonna listen to the little brown girl here. I'm nobody. But anywho, friends and family, we're hanging in there. We're doing okay. For the most part, the car's running for now. So we're just trying to get into gear to just try and make it through the winter. We're gonna try and run not run the heat if we don't absolutely need to. It can get cold enough for us to need to. Right now, we're just each got a little heater in our room for when it does get chilly, and if it doesn't get chilly enough to turn on the heat for the whole house, we're going to try not to. That's all we can really try to do right now to try and save some money. It's rough. It's rough when you're looking at how cold can I let it get in the house before I have to turn on the heat. But that's where we're at, and of course.
Well, at least cold out here is survivable. It's the heat that you must turn on the air conditioning.
You could still freeze to death out here. It's possible in the wintertime to freeze to death in the desert, especially at night.
Comparatively to other places, okay?
It's
blankets will probably be fine.
It is still, while it's still possible to survive it too. But no, I don't want to freeze to death. So I don't like to be cold. So we'll see what happens. It's November, and we're basically weather's jumping from like low, 50s to 70s right now during the day. So we'll see what happens. And we got stuff we can bundle up with. We still own sweaters and fuzzy socks. So
we got a bunch of fluffy blankets.
We still have fluffy blankets that we've had for a while. So thanks for taking the time to listen, friends and family. And we love you and we miss you. And peace in your hearts and in your lives.